Okay, so today we're going to be looking at our channels of energy in the body, the meridians, and then the acupressure massage that we do along with them. Today, we're going to focus on what those are, the meridians, the Jing Luo. We're going to look at the body as this organic holism, right? It's not only separate parts. Everything affects everything else. And then we're going to actually practice and do 3 points within the lung and large intestine meridians. The basic meaning of the meridians are as follows. They're energy channels and networks of vessels through the body. So within the blood, as well as within the channels of kind of qi, this movement, this active energy. The channels are distinct from the organs that they connect. So the organ system does have its own channel, but the organs themselves also have a function within the qi that comes from the organ. And they're all, because of these channels, all of the organs are one indivisible network. They're completely connected. And it's just like scales that balance. If one gets out of kilter, the other will be affected. So the goal is always to keep everything in balance. The colors give you a sense to understand this idea of yin and yang energy, where we have the brighter orange, reds, and yellows. Those are yang channels that run mostly along the back, but you'll see them in sections along the front with these larger muscle groups as well. These channels are partnered with their yin energy counterparts, the blue, purple, and the green. And those are along the front of the body. And the way I would really love you to think about this is that the back is often exposed to the sun. It's warmed. When you bend over in the field or you have that exposure, that's how you can remember the back are more of the 3 yang channels of energy. And the front, in these very protected areas, this delicate inner arm, the delicate inner legs around the girdle of the reproductive organs right here with the protecting the lungs and the liver and spleen and stomach, those are those cooler segments. So we have this balance of yin and yang throughout the entire body. And these interconnections are really about controlling and supporting. We have our Zhang organs and our Fu organs. Our Zhang organs, there are 6 of them, and they are hiding and storing what the body needs. They're the lead organs, if you will, in the group. So you have your liver, which is, these are all your more solid organs as a rule. The lungs, even though they have capillaries, they're still a solid organ as compared to the bladder, for example. So the liver is a yin organ, and its partner Fu organ is the gallbladder, the yang organ. It's responsible for the tendons, the wood element, the eyes, nails, and the emotion of anger. The wood supports fire, which is your heart or yin organ, related to the small intestine, which is the yang organ. That's your blood vessels, the fire element, the tongue, your face, and the emotion of joy, which is good unless it gets to be over extreme. That wood then supports earth because as wood the fire supports earth because the fire burns the wood, and that then supports the nurturance of the earth. So the spleen, yin organ, and the stomach, yang organ, which relates to the muscles, the earth element, the mouth, lips, and thinking or overthinking when it's out of balance. Earth, in turn, supports metal, right? All of our metals come from the earth and the pressures and the nature of the earth. And the lung is the yin organ. The large intestine is the yang organ. It relates to skin, the metal element, the nose, body hair, and the unbalanced emotion of sadness. This metal then supports water. The metal gives clarity and it allows water to flow and shapes water. And the kidney is the yin organ, the bladder, the yang organ. This ties to the bones, teeth, and even the marrow within the bones, the water element, the ear and the lower orifices, as well as the hair and the emotion of fear. There is a sixth group, which is made up of the heart and pericardium. And that is really important for keeping the structure. And we've done the Chinese medicine body clock before, but we'll review it later on when we get to some of the other meridians. We look at these as husband and wife, the yang organ as the husband, the yin organ as the wife, this masculine, feminine, cooling, warming, cooling, that energy. And all of these channels flow within your body. So if we look at the body as a tree, your hair, skin, eyes are the fruits of the tree that you can see, your skin, all of these external aspects. And inside the soil, that's where our organs are hiding. So you look down here, we've got this picture here of the heart and the small intestine. We don't see those, but everything that's on the outside comes from this deep internal flow of energy from the inside out. And so we use the outside points to stimulate deep into the roots. Think about it. Gardeners know how to nourish the tree from the roots. They don't put nutrition on the branches and leaves. We, of course, are going to put on our creams and do all of that because it feels good. But really, the true nourishment is coming from deep inside at the roots of our health that flow through these energy channels. So now we're going to look at what makes up this meridian system, the composition of the meridian system. And here you can see where we have the 6 yang and 6 yin organs, which make up these 12 channels of energy. And when you put them all together, they're all connected. Each one moves into the other through these circuits. And we're going to break down those 12. In addition, we have 8 extraordinary vessels, 8 extraordinary channels of movement. They are not connected. They are separate but essential. So we have, for example, the girdle channel around the lower abdomen, the Ren or conception vessel running down the front, and the Du meridian governing vessel running down the back, and so on. We're going to focus on the 12 regular meridians. When you look here, you'll notice that the meridians, the yin and yang meridians, can flow from the arms up and out and move through the entire body. And we're going to break these down into smaller and smaller chunks that practitioners use when thinking about healing the body. We'll begin by looking at the system of the hand greater yin, which is the lung meridian, and the hand greater yang, yang ming, which is the large intestine channel. The yin meridian comes from right below our collarbone and moves out to the thumb. And then the large intestine comes from the outside of the index finger and moves all the way through into the nose. This channel of energy then affects all of the things that we talked about when we looked at the star chart. The foot greater yin energy is the spleen, and that moves from the bottom up, and we'll talk about movement again in a little bit, all the way up just below in the armpit. And then the stomach meridian moves down from just below the eye, flowing all the way down into the big toe. So when we think about benefiting our digestion to get to the root, we don't just focus on our stomach, which is kind of in the front here of the rib cage, or the pancreas, which is just right in front of that. It's benefited by the spleen and stomach meridians as well. We work through the body. The hand lesser yin, the Shao Yin heart channel, comes from inside just past the breast hair, moving up under the arm and out to the pinky. Out towards the pinky. And then its partner organ, the small intestine, comes on the back of the hand, down past the pinky and up towards the face. So that's that hand reverting yang, that Tai Yang small intestine channel. Then we begin to look at this directional movement of the channels. We have the yin meridians, which move from the inside out. That's a really great little rule of thumb, that these deep, deep inner protected organs under the rib cage, those are the ones that move from the inside out. So when we're visualizing and picturing them, oh, sorry, my typo, pericardium, sorry. We have our lung, which moves, as we showed earlier, from the inside out here, pericardium. And it is the heart and pericardium are on both sides. So don't let that confuse you. All of these are on both sides of the body, not just one. I just drew one, so we're not looking at so many red lines. So we have this moving here from the heart to the pinky, but then the pericardium moves to the center in the ring finger here. And we have very important point, gate of energy on pericardium 8 and pericardium 6, which we'll learn about when we get to that channel. The directional movement of the yang channels, as we talked about, is from the outside in. So really just thinking about the yang, the hollow organs, which are more exposed, right? They're below the rib cage, they're in the abdomen, much more vulnerable, but they have to have the softness of this area in order to do their work. So that's where they move from the outside in. We also have channels that move up from the legs, from the bottom up. And these are the yin channels. They're along the inside of the leg. Think again about protection. We're more exposed on the outsides and backs of our legs and fronts of our legs than we are on the inside. So these channels of energy, and again, these were discovered over millennia of practice and observation and noticing when I push here, when I touch with a bone needle or I massage or I put heat, I have an effect that changes and benefits this system. So we have our spleen system that runs all the way up, our liver system, and our kidney. And again, these are on both sides of the body. Then we have our yang energy channels that move on the outside from the head to the foot. So you'll notice that the gallbladder channel's on this side of the head and then moves down the outside of the body. The stomach is on the front and moves all the way down the front of the body. And the bladder's on the back, moving all the way down on both sides. So when we think about where they're located, and I alluded to this as we've been talking about front, back, inside, outside, that lets us remember how the channels are grouped. We have the back of the hand and the outside back of the leg, where we're looking at these get that? Mostly the yang organs are hollow organ systems. So we have this outside, the stomach's on the outside, the gallbladder's on the outside, large intestine, the triple burner or triple energizer, bladder, and small intestine. So these more exposed, more vulnerable organs, those are our 3 yang meridians. We have yang ming, which is the large intestine and stomach partnership. Xiao Yang, which is the triple energizer gallbladder partnership, and Tai Yang, which is small intestine and bladder. The palm of the hand and the inside meridians of the legs are the 3 yin meridians that we alluded to. So if we look at the palm of the hand, the pericardium and the heart and the lung. When we look at the inside of the leg, the liver, kidney, and spleen. So we have these clusters, these groupings of inside out, protected, vulnerable, right? So that's a very helpful way to think about categorizing and thinking of the channels of energy. In addition, a lot of these, plus some extraordinary meridians, come to the face. And you know that we do regular acupressure massage of the face of these points, because just even by touching the face, we benefit the organs internally. So we'll do a little exercise just to have you feel your chi, and then we'll finish up by doing some acupressure of those. So bring your hands, and we're just going to do a little bit of opening and closing like this first, and then we'll do our chi energy ball. So if you would, go ahead and stand. I'm going to stay here so I don't have to move my chair 2 times. So go ahead and stand. Feet are parallel, hip width apart. And just open and close for a moment. The knees are softly bent, standing firmly on the earth. And once you do that, go ahead and create a chi energy ball, your palms facing each other, and gaze between them. And think about all of the channels of energy in the palm. I'm holding this up, but you can hold the chi energy ball by your navel. Okay, so right by your lower dantian. You're just going to inhale, open, and exhale, close. Just gently moving this ball of energy. And now close your eyes and really try and observe the feeling as you press closer together and the feeling as you draw away. Some people say it feels like magnets compressing or taffy pulling as you open, magnets as you close. And just tune in and know that you have this energy flowing through the channels we just explored. Do one more open and one more close. And then bring your hands down by your sides and open your eyes. Okay. So now we're going to use the benefit of looking at 2 channels of energy, the lung and large intestine. The hand greater yin energy, tai yin, tai means large, and yin, of course, is that yin, more feminine, cooling energy of the lung channel. And we've definitely worked a lot of these points, but today we're going to work on large intestine 5 and 7. The large, for the yang counterpart, we're going to be looking at the large intestine organ that moves from the index finger up and around and to our nose. We often work this point here, large intestine 20, and we often work what we're going to do today, which is Hegu, this point right here on the hand. So let's go ahead and start with the Hegu point. The easiest way to find it is if you make the circle, like the OK sign, and just come in right in between. You'll feel this long bone of the index finger come right in the middle, and you're going to press toward the bone. Hegu, large intestine point, is so beneficial for headaches, for clearing heat from the body, wind conditions. And we're going to do a unique thing today where we're going to actually pinch. We're going to have one hand on the thumb is going to be right on the point, and the other hand is going to be reaching back, and we're just going to pinch, really pinch in with the thumb. So just pinch and release. The index finger is just supporting on the opposite side of the index bone. So just do a nice pinching and releasing. Kind of press and release. And now we'll go to the other hand. Go ahead and make that circle. You can find that bone really easily then. Come to the middle. Feel around for what we call the reaction point. Notice, okay, here it is. And we'll do this upward pinching again, pushing the thumb in, the index finger on top. We're going to do it again where we're going to put the index finger underneath and pinch. But this is just kind of supporting the thumb pressing. Do a little bit more. And release. And now we're going to bring the index finger underneath where we're going to pinch in on the top. So get that Hegu point again, feel with your thumb, and bring the index finger inside, and we're just going to pinch the index finger and thumb together. Breathe gently as you do this. And now let's go to the other side. Bring the index finger just underneath where that point is, and we'll pinch. Good. And by massaging here, you can clear sinus headaches. You can clear other headaches because this is an overall pain in the head. This point releases, this Tai Yang releases pain in the head. So very powerful. We've also really just nourished your digestion, and we've expelled any blocked wind. That wind can cause pain in all sorts of different parts of the body. Now we're going to go ahead. Treat a headache. Treats the headache. Also the swelling of the face if you ever feel puffy, sore throat. And then if you get blockages in your menstrual cycle, it can help release that as well. So you have a healthier menstrual flow. The next one is Chizu, large intestine, lung 5. And the way you find that is go ahead and flex your arm. And you're going to come just on this outside part of the bicep. So you'll feel in just where you've got this crease, you'll feel the tendon, and you're going to be just in the divot past that tendon. Feel around where it's a little tender. See if you can notice that. You should feel it. It's quite tender on most people. And this is amazing for hay fever, itching throat, a cough, or asthma. If you have a lot of mucus, you're going to go clockwise, and that's clockwise as you're looking at the point. So you're going to massage, and most of us have mucus in our lungs as a rule, so we'll massage clockwise here. Breathe gently as you massage. We'll do both sides. Yeah, for many people, this is incredibly tender. We have a lot of mucus that builds in our lungs, which then moves up into our nasal cavity because of that connection with the large intestine there. So we really work on clearing this here. And now let's find it on the other side. Bend, come to the outside. So you're just on the outside, right on the crease. Feel around for where you are in relation to the tendon. Feel for that tender reaction point. And looking at the finger here, you're going to go clockwise as you look at the hand. So it should look clockwise from the position that you're gazing. And we'll massage here. As a rule, clockwise massage on any of the points or the body reduce something when you want less of it. And when you go counterclockwise, that draws in and captures something if you need more of it. So if you need more warmth, you need more blood, you need more of something, you would go counterclockwise as a rule. Of course, there's always exceptions, but it's a safe place from which to work. I'll just do a little bit more here. This is great when you have an immediate cough. It prevents future coughs. Really great when you feel that mucus, if you're actually coughing up phlegm, really beautiful for that. Good. Now we'll go to the partner point, lung 7. Lieque, and this also helps hay fever, a sore throat, and very tight jaw. If you clench your jaw when you sleep or just feel this tension here, it also opens up the lungs for a productive cough. So the way you ideally find this point is with your hand, come into the little divot right here. You'll notice the little divot, and that is large intestine 5. Then from that divot, you're going to just come over the bone and then just up past the bone. So you'll see the bone right here of the wrist. You're going to come over the bone and feel around right past this bony part for a tender point. And that will be your lung 7. So you might need to move your hand a little bit up and back, but you're going to be past this bony protrusion. I let you find it more easily by coming to that large intestine point, sweeping up past the bone, and you'll feel right around in there. You'll feel the tendons, and you'll be nestled right between the two tendons that are there by the bone. So let's massage here again, clockwise as you look at your massaging. Breathing gently as you do. So even though we're on the arm, we're benefiting the lung because of the channels of energy we just explored. We can't, the ancients did not want to go into the body. They really understood you want to invade the body as little as possible. You want to keep it as a whole unit. And so they studied, if we do this, then what happens? And they were able to find these benefits. Written records, right? So now let's find it on the other side. Come to that little indentation, go straight past the bone, feel around where it's tender. That's your reaction point. Ooh, this side is very tender for me today. And breathe as you massage. This is a little tricky here. You've got to get kind of in on the bone because the tendons are so prominent. Very beautiful working of our body. And this gets back to that idea of the organic holism. Everything is connected. So as we understand these deep connections, we really know, we're more aware of injury on our body parts, sensitivity on our body parts. If our wrists are sore, ooh, maybe my lungs are weak. So we just begin to wake up. We become aware of how our body works, and we can listen to what it's saying. Press and release.